What's up? Welcome back for more Honkai Impact 3rd. Today, we're gonna continue the Act 3, The Day You Vanish with the Stars. Okay, let's get right to it. So, we're moving backwards in time. Beast Plan Persuasion. Why the envoys and the aiding troops all went missing? What happened to them? With Miss Ironfist's robotic voice ringing in my ears, my consciousness had drifted freely in the twilight zone. I felt as if I was soaking in hot spring, but very soon, the pleasure was brutally ended by someone slapping my face. Who is it? My eyes opened to find a machete's point dangerously close to my nose. Hey, who are you? I'm just passing by. Stay clear of this place. War is coming, and things are gonna get nasty. The Shiksal emblem on the soldier's armor almost gave me a heart attack. Thank goodness they soon left me alone. Not far from where I stood, the Shiksal and Jormungand soldier were marching towards Moon Umbria. The twins are little devils that won't go down easily. Maybe something big happened on their way to Moon Umbria? One puzzle after another. Somehow, I felt finding them was the key to putting together all the puzzle pieces. I went on towards the border valley. It's a path rarely trodden upon, save for a few monster trails. After a long while, I finally reached the valley. Based on Rita's intel, this is where everything began to fall apart. In the embrace of high cliffs, a waterfall poured down on the ground. A maze of winding tracks led to darkness. I kept walking for I didn't know how long until I finally spotted some traces left by humans. Some rumble, a military lamp, and a pack. I was about to check the pack when I saw something move in the corner. Lilia? It turned around and something it held fell to the ground. Captain, you didn't make it back? It's a long story. Kongming's formation went wrong. Why are you here? There are a lot of monsters in this cave, and I'm trapped here. Monsters? I meant to ask more, but I suddenly caught a glimpse of some weird-looking monsters rearing their heads. That's them! I fought them off many times, but they always came back like there's a demon on the other side. I can't kill them all, and I can't drive them away. I'm never leaving this cave now. Wait, they found us! Our eyes met the monsters and they began to charge at us immediately. Right before it's too late, I yanked Lilia to the side. The monsters couldn't stop and bumped into the wall. The cave trembled heavily and crushed stones began to rain down. Run, Lilia! Oh. It's only the trial.
Lilia, 出撃!
Ow! Ow, 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 ow. Ow! Rather strange monster. It has super tough skin. You won't be able to damage it. You have to do something. Okay. Oh, okay. Never mind.
戦闘終了。帰って寝たいな。
Phew! We're safe now. The monsters didn't catch up. By the way, why are you here? I got separated from the Shiksal soldiers. That's it? You sure know how to skip all the important parts. Oh, fine. I'll start with the beginning. After we got into Kongming's formation, I don't know what happened, but I was sent to Shiksal. Rosa Idioka, Kongming, and Captain, you were all gone. I saw the enlistment ad that said 300 a month with food and shelter, so I signed up and got sent to Umbria. On our way, we found some villagers chased by monsters. We wanted to save them, but more monsters came and we split. So the Shiksal soldiers are still alive? Yeah, should be. Maybe they're trapped at other places. Oh, right. The messenger from Umbria is also with them. I see. We walk into the cave as we talk. All of a sudden, some soft noise came from the darkness ahead. Hush! Is it monsters? Nah, it's slap sound. Maybe someone is playing mud? Lilia? Is that you? Lilia? The next second, something in the dark popped up and grabbed Lilia. Rosa, ugh! I thought you were dead. Woohoo! You're hurting me. Ugh! Huh? Captain is here too? Great! Rosalia, why are you here? There are a lot of monsters in this cave and I'm trapped here. Yeah, twin sisters. I fought them off many times, but they always came back, like there's something terrible on the other side. I can kill them all and I can drive them away. I'm never leaving this cave now. Can you help me, Captain? This sounds familiar. Alright, I got it now. It's so familiar. I wonder who got it. I got it from. Let go now, Rosa Idioka. Wah, Lily. Let go, Rosa. Your hands are full of mud. Stay away from me. Oh, right. Come check out my stove. You call that slump of mud a stove? That's what I learned in Germongod. Super useful. Rosalia, you haven't told us why you're here. I'm now the second biggest boss in Germongod. I came with thousands of brothers for some serious business. Huh, that's nothing compared to me. I'm a Shiksal general now. The Corsair Queen gave me her treasure. Let me find it. Tada! The German Universal Compass. Looks like it's made of brass and totally soaked. Pretty much useless now. Even without the compass, the great Rosalia can always tell directions. Duh, I don't believe it. Well, I believe neither of you. Right? Oh, where are the German soldiers? I got separated. Oh, that's a surprise. It's like you two were following the same script. We were about to save Kongming, but we ran into some villagers whose village was taken by monsters. But there were too many of these monsters and we couldn't beat them. We got trapped here and there's no way out. The twins being here means the other soldiers are not far away either. Only a matter of time before we find them. But villagers and monsters. Pretty much the same story told by Lilia before. Rosalia and Lilia, do you still remember what the villagers look like? Oh, no. But the leader was a man in black. No. But the leader was a man in black? Are you two messing with me? Anything special about this leader? Special. He looks super ordinary. Oh, he was holding a black umbrella. Oh, a snake serpent. On a nice and sunny day. The villagers I saw had no umbrella, and they look normal too. Never mind, I give up. You're not giving me much, but I can tell something isn't right. I'll think about it later. Follow me, I'll take you out of here. Huh? What are you two doing in the corner? Chomp, chomp, chomp. Chomp, chomp, chomp. They're eating. Hold on, don't eat anything unclean. It's super yummy. You wanna bite, Captain? Hey, get this black thing off my face. Huh? It smells... Is it sweet potato? Yeah, it's a tiny weeny burnt, but the taste is still awesome. Rosa only baked 2. That's not enough. That's because the tiny stove can only bake 2 at a time. Captain, give yours to Lily. Why would there be sweet potatoes? Where did you find them? There's plenty over there. Just dig up a bit of soil and you'll find them. What are you doing, Lily? Don't dig up my sweet potatoes. I found them. Ho ho, it's mine now. Let's bake them. Be careful. The monsters might smell it and come. Come fight me, Vodka Sword Master. Winner takes all. Come fight me, Vodka Typhoon. Winner takes all. None of them is listening. Hush now. Monsters are coming. Rosa Dioka, you brought the monsters here. What? It's your noise that drew them here. Okay. The 2 vodka girls. I'm not in, bitches! Dahil may banana field trap. Stupid monster. Uh-oh. Stop it! It trapped me! Blade! Monsters are coming. Okay. Ugh. Phew! Finally made it out. Are you alright? That. Rosalia and Lilia lay still on the ground and gave me no reply. Hey, Rosalia? Lilia? Are you alright? I'm starving. No stamina left. Can't move a finger now. One sweet potato is not even an appetizer. I didn't bring my stove and I can't bake more now. Get up. I'm sending you back to the Arch Imperator and Corsair Queen. How about this? I know a place where you can eat at your heart's content. On hearing the word eat, Rosalia and Lilia sprang up like a pair of freshly infected zombies. Where is it? I can still walk if it's not too far away. Monumbria. When we arrived, only a handful of soldiers stood guard at the gate, and sorrowful zither tones echoed in the city. We found Kongming lost in her thoughts behind the zither. She didn't even notice us until we came close. Captain, you! I knew you wouldn't die easily on me. I saw you run over the cliff and I couldn't find anything left by you. I don't think that you can rest your worries now. I promised you to look after myself, didn't I? Captain, you're a reckless fool. Chomp chomp. Wake up, Rosalia. There's no sweet potato left. Are you biting my fingers? Rosalia and Lilia, after you disappeared, were you seeking them too? I'm starving. I can eat 2 horses now. No! They ran into monsters and got trapped in a valley near the Jormungand and Umbria border. We're in war, and the best we have now is our emergency food supply. 2 big steam buns, 20 small ones, and fried dough sticks. Is this enough? That should do. I simply ignored the silent screams from Rosalia and Lilia. We're saved! Following Kongming is the righteous choice. Kongming, we saw many Shixal and Jormungand soldiers on the way. Are they... They believe we have held their missing troops and thus allied to fight us. We cannot hold them off. I've told Rita and Teresa to evacuate the citizens, but I didn't foresee your return. Forgive me for being blunt. But Kongming, if you have some strategy to fend them off, now is the time to use it. Captain, what do you mean? Your intention is obvious. You plan to guard the empty city alone against thousands of armed and angry soldiers. It's the only way that works. Well, there must be other options you've considered. Yes, as you said, I do have another strategy. With the capital under siege, what's keeping you from acting decisively? You should know that nothing outweighs life. I know, and I always know mine is not the only life that matters. If the price for saving the city is thousands of innocent lives, would you still choose to follow through? My decision is final. I do have a formation to annihilate every human being around the city, but I've forsaken it. Taking thousands of lives hostage might compel the besiegers to retreat, but it would only justify their invasion. So, this is the only way. In the setting sun, Kongming overlooked the vacant city with her mournful but determined eyes. All went quiet, and even the twins gulping down their food felt something and raised their heads. I looked into their confused eyes. Kongming, I may have a way to avoid the kingdom conflict. Huh? Jormungand and Shixal invade us because of the Hudo explosion. Snow melted and sea formed into the Snow Nation. Ocean receded and land rose into the pirate heaven. But the base is not Umbria's fault, and they fight us because they believe Umbria diverted the damage to them. Yes. We don't know if it's an easy excuse for them to justify the invasion or a true conviction of righteous revenge. But the spark that started the fire is missing troops that never returned to their home kingdoms. Keep talking? What if survivors of the missing troops show up? You mean... Yes, someone gave me a list of all the soldiers sent to Umbria for aid. In the list, 2 names caught my attention, Vodka Typhoon and Vodka Swordmaster. The Rosalia and Lilia aliases. They were each sent to Sixal and Jormungand when the formation went wrong. I see. I noticed their disappearance, but at that moment, the situation required me to focus on the battle. Now that we can play the survivor cards, the fundamental justification behind their invasion does not stand anymore. This can at the very least secure us a negotiation with the besiegers. Rita told me that two aid forces were led by Vodka Typhoon and Vodka Swordmaster, but I never made the connection. Even so, it still puzzles me that the two kingdoms should put our feud aside and send the soldiers to our rescue. Ahem. As for this, Lilia, tell us why. Lilia gulped down a big steam bun and cleared her throat. The Arch-Imperator was hesitant about helping Umbria. After all, we have this Schicksal first policy. But she told us the three kingdoms were lives on the same branch and Umbria peril would be felt by all. I see. But even if the negotiation is possible, the disastrous aftermath of the Hudo explosion won't be ignored. To put myself in their shoes, I'd never withdraw my siege simply because the misunderstanding has been cleared. About this, Kongming, a private word please? Lily, I think Captain and Kongming were staring at us all the time. Nothing serious. Let's get fed up. Let's get fed first. Persuasion. Okay. A few days later, Captain has been pacing back and forth for an eternity. He must be anxious. It's been 3 days since the letter was delivered, and still no reply from the Allied forces. I'm worried that it's out of our hands now, and worrying doesn't help. Apart from the desert munching twins over there, you're perhaps the only one who can still remain calm. Anxiety and impatience are enemies of nurturing good character. Captain, read the book to restore your inner peace. I then heard a string of hasty footsteps coming close. Your Majesty, the Arch-Imperator and Corsair Queen have sent word. See, like I told you. She took the letter and opened it with a poker face. A few moments later, she put the letter away and looked at me. So, the next day, the command of the Allied forces. Should I inform the Grand Chancellor and Teresa-sama? No need. Tell them to continue the evacuation. It's a big gamble for us. If the negotiation goes south, you know what will happen. I know. Even if it comes to the worst, I can still earn some time for the evacuation. But you don't have to. It's too late for me to back away now. Let's finish what we started. After all, it's me that led Hudo into the sea and started the chain reaction. Besides saving you is only part of my plan. Himiko and Fua also need my help. I still remember the dumbfounded me standing on the cold and blood-stained stairs before the palace. I wanted to scream, but my throat was too sore to allow it. I wanted to cry, but my eyes were filled up by the settled blood. I wanted to question the murderer, but her burning vengeance sealed my lips. In the end, even the murderer died in my arms. Like a drowned person desperately struggling to hold on to something, I tried to get to the bottom of the tragedies. Back then, I couldn't see the whole picture and write a happy ending for everyone. But it's all different now. Captain, let's go. Rosalia and Lilia, get prepared. Kongming, I'll make it work. What is this place? The command was set at the border of Dormongon and Umbria. The vanguard had sieged Moon Umbria, but the command was still at the border. That sent a very subtle message. The command was in a cave rather than a camp. That's part of the legacy left by Hudo's explosion. The snow on the great plains of Schicksal had all melted and half the kingdom went underwater. And the tide-riding pirates of Dormongon were turned into cave dwellers. It's not your fault, Captain. Hudo threatened all of the realm and it's impossible to contain its damage. If you didn't let Hudo into the sea and I didn't activate the Guardian formation, we'd be seeing more miseries. I know all along, but still. Huh. A snort put an end to our conversation. We had already reached the depth of the cave. I looked around and found Germon trade commodities randomly piled up in the corners. The leaders of the allied forces measured us up with cold eyes. On making eye contact, a trace of surprise flashed over each of their faces. But they soon resumed calm and fixed their unfriendly eyes on Kongming. Well, the legendary first Grand Series in the flesh. What an honor. You played us like a fiddle, master strategist. 1,000 years of wisdom on a little girl that couldn't look more than 12. Would have thought. You know I'm an elder, but you don't respect me as one. I've heard a lot about the heroic second Corsair Queen, but I have to say you turned out to be a disappointment. You! Enough! We're not here for petty arguments. Kongming, you should have seen what you've done to Jarmongon on the way here. And I have to applaud your courage waltzing in here with only 3 guards. Or maybe in your eyes, we're no more than a pack of bandits that pose no threat to you. With the last word, the Arch-Imperator threw a punch on the wall. The ground quaked and rumble fell. The cave trembled all over under the impact. Arch-Imperator, your reputation has long preceded you, and I'd say it's well justified. I'll be candid, I have 2 goals. One is to improve my innocence, and the other is to ensure the Empire's survival. I'll be candid too. I'm afraid none of your wishes will be granted today. Corsair Queen, please remain calm. Schicksal and Germongon Surfer reigns all come from Hudo's explosion. But the beast is not Embria's fault, and you're here because you believe Embria diverted the damage to Germongon. So what? I don't intend to question your judgment, but there was no such diversion. Captain, you're adding insult to injury. You're crossing the line here if you fail to produce valid evidence. It takes remedy to convince you, not evidence. I fully understand your motivation to hold Embria accountable. But what if Embria is also a victim? That's a lie. Yes, Embria suffered the first when Hudo broke loose, but we dispatched troops to your rescue as soon as we heard. How did our kindness repay us? Our soldiers are missing, and Hudo explosion shifted the terrains of Germongon and Schicksal forever. While Embria sustained some losses, but your existence was never threatened. I say that's evidence enough? Please hear me out, Corsair Queen. Let me tell you the truth why Embria alone survived the Hudo explosion. Hudo is a ferocious beast I sealed 1,000 years ago with the help of Embrian friends. For the past millennium, I've been reinforcing the seal, but I naturally understand the beast's rage towards Embria. For insurance, I deployed the Guardian formation across Embria during my early travels. Only I can activate the formation, and it's the only thing that kept Embria from collapsing in the explosion. Shit. I have a dry I just drank water, sorry. Okay. Still, I understand the beast. Wait. Okay. Still, I underestimated the beast. The formation deployed over centuries crumbled like a paper in the explosion. If not so, you wouldn't be able to march to Moon Embria without much resistance. She's telling the truth. Don't fall for her lies. Her eyes tell me she's not lying. These are the eyes of a protector. But what about our missing soldiers? Where they have gone? It simply doesn't make sense. Like we said in the letter, the troops didn't reach Embria, and our envoys didn't make it back. I personally received the Embria envoy, and he was with the dispatched Schicksal soldiers. Same here. Yes, it happened on the way to Embria. We are yet to figure out what exactly happened, but the survivors' words might carry some weight. If not for the survivors mentioned in your letter, we'd never have this conversation. Rosalia and Lilia, tell us what you've been through. We were about to save Kongming, but we ran into some villagers whose village was taken by monsters. But there were too many of these monsters and we couldn't beat them. We got trapped here and there's no way out. We met some villagers asking for help too. We wanted to help, but more monsters came at us. Villagers in both stories. That does sound suspicious. But how can we be sure that twins haven't betrayed us and made up the story? After the explosion, the German Sea dried out and all ships were beached. The fishers had to abandon their homes and settle in the caves. At this time of year, the nights are still cold and many of them have no shelter, no food. We've lost everything, but we have to live on. We were born fishers, and plowing the land isn't in our blood. How are we supposed to make a living then? Till now, most of our houses are flooded, and our farmland has all gone to waste. No crops can be grown again. The two kingdoms are living hells now. Even if you told the truth, we can simply retreat and wait for death. I understand your rage and desperation, and that's why I told you it takes remedy to convince you, not evidence. Please take a look at this. The Grand Series has prepared a systematic relief plan to cope with the damages. Embria will provide Shigsal with the blueprint of the wind tower. Wind tower? Yes, it can fasten evaporation and drainage. Meanwhile, Embria will support the resurrection with the latest tech. For Germongon, please read this page, Corsair Queen. Embria will provide 5,000 mobile houses to shelter the homeless. Mobile houses? Building a house takes months. I doubt you can really deliver. Please rest assured, Corsair Queen, this type of house is easy and fast to build but can last long years. When did Embria prepare all this? They sound like inventions from another world. No, they were not prepared for the occasion. The Grand Series developed them long ago for the Tereri concert tour. The wind tower can drain off the water on a rainy day. The mobile houses are for fans weighing up for a signature. If we can't feed our kingdoms, all your promises are no more than lip service. We have just the answer for that. The twins found a nourishing staple in the valley that thrives in 4 months. Rosalia, Lilia, chomp chomp. Chomp chomp. Ahem, it's exactly what they're having. It's named golden potato. There are some big ones for you to taste. Smells good and tastes delicious. But we're out of time. Shigsa would be a kingdom of corpses when it ripes. Don't worry, if our peace treaty goes through, Embria will supply enough food to feed your people for 4 months. How much food do you think is needed to sustain for 4 months? Hahaha, that's ridiculous. Well, how about 8 million tons? I signaled Kongming with a seemingly casual side glance, and she gave me a nod that's almost unnoticeable. Fine, 8 million tons. Not a gram short. What? Captain, this is not child's play. An empty promise will cost you dearly. I'd never play with fire when it comes to diplomacy. Besides, Embria will dredge the watercourses in 3 years. We will unite. We'll build traffic hubs and lead international trade to prosperity. Embria will also freely share the latest technology so that all 3 kingdoms can benefit equally from progress. If you sign the treaty today, peace and prosperity across the realm will become reality in no time. What do you think, Arch-Imperator? I need more convincing than sweet words. Before I could further explain, a huge boom sent the whole cave shivering with falling rocks. What happened? Thunderous monstrous roars were felt all through the cave, but the Arch-Imperator and Corsair didn't even blink. They're here again? I'll lead the soldiers to attack them from behind. These monsters are outrageous. Never know when to give up. Today is the day for them to learn the hard lesson. Oh, wow. Oh, you see the outfit. Sexy hallelujah.
久々の戦場よ。急ぐわよ。
Oh, shit.
たまには午後で進むのは悪くないわね。
今目的地。今目的地
Something is coming. Careful, careful, Pastor Twin. Huh, this
急ぐわよ。
must be the Beast King.
今目的地急ぐわよ。こういうの絶縁粉塵
Ah!
了解バックオセよ劣化
There we go. First wish. With a mighty blow from the Cosware Queen, the monster beat the dust. Where were we just now? Where were we? Yeah, shit. After the chaos, the cave became an even bigger mess. The Cosware Queen pulled over a crate and sat down casually. Well, you've all seen what Jormungon has turned into now. Captain terms sound tempting, but they are too light too late. A little too late. We have a conclusion now, and there's no need to talk more. Guards, escort our guests. The Cosware Queen snapped her finger, and the next moment, we were surrounded by fierce-looking pirates. Wait! Cosware Queen, if another beast appears, how will you handle it then? Nonsense. Yama, Amorphous, and Hudo. They're not wild animals you run into every day. Hold on. You mean there are other beasts like Hudo that may ravage the realm? Captain saw it with his own eyes. Do you know why Captain would return here years later? I'm listening. Captain roamed the realm and visited a secluded place where writings on the cliff tell the legends of the 10 beasts. Guangxi, the first and fiercest of the 10, has the resemblance of tiger and eagle, descendants every few centuries. Exactly. Have you two heard about this beast? It does exist. You've heard about it too? Yes, there are Shiksal folk tales that speak of a similar beast. Well then, the Arch-Imperator must know how destructive the beast can be. After Hudo, I saw the ominous sign of a red moon. Hudo is only the harbinger of the true sovereignty. I don't know. 1,000 years ago, Umbria slain Yama, Amorphous, and sealed Hudo. Kongming knows the beast better than everyone. You can overturn Umbria today, but when another beast comes, what will your chances be? And your missing soldiers are still trapped in the valley. Umbria can help find them if a deal is struck today. I understand you're fighting for your justice, but no one has anything to gain from this nasty war. Dark Imperator and Cosware Queen both became silent. Can I count on you about the 8 million tons of rice in a month? You have my word. Well, if we don't see the food aid in a month, this treaty will be nullified, and our raids will burn down everything. Fair enough, but you retreat tonight from Umbria. If we deliver on our end, we must fully honor the terms. Papers and brush pens were presented. The terms were written down and signed by the three parties. Well, that's it. I hope you can be trusted, founder of Umbria. Umbria will honor the pact. With the signed treaty, Kongming and I left the command and soon returned to Moon Umbria. Roam the realm, Kongming. I didn't know you were such an elegant liar. Huh, and the feeling is mutual. By the way, did you read some astrology books? Even I was almost fooled by you. Oh, I was simply imitating your way of speaking. You. Kongming's fan hit my head before I could dodge. That should put an end to it. Ah, my heart feels much lighter now. A flurry of hurried footsteps sounded. I stopped and saw Rita and Teresa rushing over with worried faces. Your Majesty took too much risk venturing over the border. If we didn't make it on time, well, we've returned, safe and sound. Kongming led in the front while Rita and Teresa followed her closely. I signed softly in relief behind their backs. The guards told us you promised 8 million tons of rice in a month in exchange for peace. Is it true? 8 million tons? That's the entirety of our stock. How could we manage to feed our people then? In fact, I was about to explain when the robotic voice sounded again at this very inconvenient time. Countdown. 9 seconds. Teleportation terminating. What? Not again! Not now! Overwhelming blankness took away my consciousness in no time. The last image I saw was their silhouettes under the high moon. What? I didn't read that right, but whatever. My consciousness came back. I heard scattered footsteps and I saw the almost too familiar wooden screen. Some handmaids passed by. I waved to get my feet and tried to ask them what happened. Excuse me, it's Kongming. No one paid me any heed. They rushed past with anxious faces. No, Kongming is not. A strong faintness overwhelmed me. I took a deep breath and began to sprint for the central palace. My head was a mess. I couldn't help thinking about what I had done wrong and how could I make it right. It's a long, long way. When I finally reached out my hand to the door, my hands was quivering all over. That's enough! Won't be able to lift my legs with this on. Should we try? I want to try it too. Loud laughter came from behind the door. I pushed the door open, not knowing what to expect. Captain? Where have you been? Why are you all so surprised? What happened? Mannerless fool. You left without a word, and now you swagger in like nothing has happened. The four of us were taking a walk, and you simply vanished in a puff of smoke. You could have given us a notice. Your transgressors and insolence call for proper punishment. No! Waterboarding, public shaming, or flooding. No! What's on your mind, Your Majesty? Rita gave me a weak smile, and Kongming studied my reactions with great curiosity. Wait, what? Never mind. Since you've returned, I graciously forgive your misconduct. Well, Your Majesty really wasn't gracious when you were stomping the floor for Captain's missing earlier. It never happened. Looks like Captain is spared then. Come on, you weren't being serious, right? Rita, let's follow through the plan. Sure. Captain, please excuse us for a moment. Huh? What plan? They retreated to the inner room. After a flurry of chakas, Kongming's voice passed over. Wait, Rita, I'm not wearing this flower. It's too childish. Your Majesty, it's the latest fashion. It complements your dress like nothing else. Here, let me do it for you. Look how fabulous you are. Your Majesty, why are you blushing? Please be still, Your Majesty. No, it tickles. When I couldn't be more confused, Rita let out a soft chuckle again. Alright, it's finished. Captain, Take a guess now. Which one is Kongming? Yeah, tell us. Her! Right side! This one! Come on, it's too easy. Of course, it's, stop teasing Captain now. It's almost time. Fine, I'll get dressed. Captain, how does it look on me? Great! It looks bad? Ah, no. I was lost for words. This dress is specially tailored for Chinsi. Captain, you're so insensitive. It looks very nice actually. Never mind. I don't care about your opinion. Wow! you have no excuses to be unprepared for the special occasion. Sorry. As Kongming spoke, she fixed a jade amulet to my belt. This would do for now. It's time for us to set off. Where to? Why, the Lantern Fair, of course. We'll watch the lantern show and pray for good fortune with the people of Umbria. Let's go, Captain. It's a summer evening of refreshing breezes, and we arrive at the Star Pavilion in fast wagons. Every house was decorated with colored lace lanterns, and children were running around the corners with pinwheels. We're seeing a lot of new and beautiful lanterns tonight. Yes, a few days ago, a craftsman came and he is said to be a master of lanterns. Maybe we can invite him to the palace. That would be necessary. A river of lanterns flew with the passing crowds. The three girls were having a rarely good time in the festive scene. But for me, everything looked unreal. It's all too good to be true. Ahem, how are things going with Jormungand and Shiksal? Thanks to Captain, trade has opened up and the three kingdoms are entering a mutual beneficial relationship. We handed out seed rice to the farmers on the Peace Talk Day, and exactly 1 month later, new crops were harvested. Well, the credit goes to the boosted crop development by Kongming. It thrives in a month. That's mind-blowing magic. Kongming-sama came up with a lot of new stuff at the ruins, and the Imperial Repository almost can't hold them all. There is use for each and every one of them. As we spoke, the wagon had taken us to the center of Moon Umbria. A wooden tower stood out among all the shops and houses. Numerous lanterns danced to the rhythm of the wind. That's probably the Star Pavilion they talk about. Are you looking at that tall building over there? That's where the prayers will be held tonight. Prayers? It's a tradition of the Empire. Every Chinsei night, people parade the city and pray for happiness and prosperity. In my eyes, these festivals are only meant to serve people's selfish desires. To eat tangyuan on Lantern Festival and climb mountains on Double Night. Must do activities for every festival. Kongming supported her head with one hand and checked the passing crowds with indifferent, tired eyes. Well, even so, these special days do give us a reason to reunite for a pleasant time, don't they? In the festive atmosphere, even normal views and mundane activities may bring a fresh taste. Is it so? Kongming tooted, I don't know, in disapproval, and I turned away from the awkwardness. The wagon came to a stop shortly. We've arrived. With Imperial guards lined up on the side, Kongming walked Rita and Teresa to the Star Pavilion. I'll leave it to you two. Sure, we can handle it. Are you sure not to come along? Citizens of Mount Umbria heard your return and would be honored by your presence. The truth is, the long years at the altar have washed away my memory of the ceremony. Teresa can host it better. As you wish then. Please take care of Her Majesty, Captain. Eh? Rita and Teresa can have all the overlaid, sophisticated ceremony and speeches, while we join the crowd to have some fun. Aww. Huh? The next moment, I was forcibly dragged by Kongming into the sea of people. So many people here to see the boat parade. Good thing they've all hightail boats today. I can at least see the orchid lantern hanging at the stern. Why don't you sit on my shoulders and see the whole picture? No sooner had I finished my words than a fan slap hit my shoulder. The parade is for people like you who haven't seen much of the world, and I've seen it every single year. But the childlike joy on her face betrayed her pretended poise. Her eyes could hardly leave the lanterns. Aww. Aww. Okay then. It's Feng's sweet shop. I want red bean mochi and sugar holes. Huh? I thought you had been here many times, and you must had plenty of this before. Sure, and that's why I know what tastes good and what doesn't. And you've got to taste smiley face at the Chinsei Fair, a grand parade of oil, flour, sugar, and honey. Yeah, I got it. Tell me what you want and I'll get you them for you. Sweet milky balls and red bean mochi. 3 of each. Asmantos pudding, double sugar, and 2 ruby. What? Can you really stomach that? Can you really stomach that much? Wait, have you finished? Kongming looked up at me, pointed at the crystal cake stand, and began to play cute with her big watery eyes. Mr. Assassin, please. Yeah, why not? Huh? What did you just call me? Kongming ignored me, handed me all the desserts, and before I got a firm grip, she had dragged me to the next shop. Hey, sugar figures over there. Come on, before there's nothing left for us. Weird. This is weird. Yes, she is unmistakably Kongming, but right now she feels insanely different. Is it the festive atmosphere? Well, I certainly won't mind if her happy-go-lucky side can last. Uh-oh. Are you happy now? Look at that fucking face. Are you happy now? Happy? What? I couldn't stand your long face all the way, so I decided to tease you a bit. Now you're grinding like an idiot. I hope you're not getting any wrong ideas. Kongming unfolded the paper cover of the freshly steamed mutton bun, blew it slightly colder, and began to enjoy it. Underneath the flower lanterns, her face had a rosy sheen that could be easily mistaken for a flush. Come on, the happier one of us is definitely. Who is it? Kongming's cold gaze froze my tongue. The sugar figures are ready. The 2 shining sugar figures handed over by the master came to my rescue and diverted Kongming's attention. 2 funny-looking sugar figures, to be honest. Kongming couldn't help but burst into laughter. At that. Hey, drop that look. You're not thinking these 2 figures look like us, are you? They are in our likeness, because I say so. Now let's check out the other side. Kongming nipped at the figure while watching the lanterns, and I was following her closely with 2 hands full. As the parade fleet roamed by, thousands of lanterns lit up the sky like the stars. The whole world has gone festive. Lanterns, fabulous lanterns at reasonable prices. With bells tinkling, a lantern craftsman holding a black umbrella chanted as he passed us by. That must be the lantern master Teresa talk about. Shit, I can't read. These lanterns look really nice, but I feel something is lacking. What? You expect them to fly like birds? No, it's not what I meant. Well, that wouldn't be too hard. Captain, are you up for a little challenge? I guess. What is it? Kongming turned around and her eyes shone bright like stars. We'll make a lantern that can fly like a bird. Okay, collect enough materials. Dang! Ding 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 ding.
皆の者、出陣よ。あちらかしら。ついてきなさい。後ろは任せたわ。あちらかしら。
Kongming. What is it? Why would you want to make Sky Lantern all of a sudden? Of course not. It's just... I just thought of an old promise. Oh.
あちらかしら。
Let me check how many bamboos were already collected. Let's get some more, Captain.
ついてきなさい。
That should be enough. Thank you, Captain. Then the light bamboo trees will be
司祭
needed.
風揚転覆雲水。後ろは任せたわ。
This place is beautiful. Let's make the Sky Lantern here, Captain.
素晴らしい戦いだったわ。帰ったら祝杯をあげましょう。
Kongming spread the thin paper, crop it into 5 equal parts, and carefully placed them on the bamboo threads. Shit. It's been a long time since I did this. I'm not sure if I can still make it work. It will fly. Technically, as long as the paper holds and the rosin burns, it can keep ascending. Kongming squinted at me and chuckled. I could only recite more of the high school physics I learned to sound right. Oh shit! The look on your face is pretty precious when you try to explain something like a teacher. But tonight is the last night you stay here, right? Huh? I didn't say so. You said nothing, but it's written all over your face. I've been working on my formation these 3 months with the hope of sending you back to your world. I knew you'd leave someday, but it's much sooner than I expected. Alright, you might as well enjoy the last night. We have Lantern Fair every year, but this time is different, Captain. Can you see the tower over there? In a while, Rita and Teresa will ascend the tower and hold prayers for good fortune shared by all of Umbria. I followed Kongming's eyes and found the majestic tower. Captain, do you think our prayers will reach the star thousands of miles above us? I didn't know the answer, but Kongming didn't seem to mind either. She adjusted the skeleton so the lantern can fly. It's done! Maybe you can write a wish on the sky lantern, and it will bring your wish to the stars. The lantern fire twinkled like a star, putting a soft glow on her somewhat wistful face. She handed the lantern to me. Do you have a wish to write on the lantern? Huh? For real? Let me think. Think it as a part of the celebration. Maybe the festive atmosphere does indeed make it special. Why are your eyes turning like that? That sounds familiar. Alright, I won't tease you more. Take your time while I return to the Star Pavilion for a brush pen. I'll go with you. No need. I'll take the shortcut and be back soon. Besides, you can't walk fast holding the lantern in the crowds. Just wait for me here and I'll be back before you know it. Kongming smiled as she... Kongming smiled as she walked across the timber bridge and disappeared in the bamboo grove. What should my wish be? World peace? Nah, it's too unoriginal. Safely back to Hyperion? That sounds better. Forget it, no need to take this seriously. It won't grant my wish like the golem. But what took Kongming so long? I'll go find her. I took the shortcut to the city, with my hands protecting the lantern from the crowds and my eyes searching for her. No noises from fair passed over. On the ornate tower, tens of hung flower lanterns were dancing with the wind. But the next instant... Bah! Uh-oh. The beam stumbled and Star Pavilion was set on fire. The spark hit the trees nearby and the city turned red. The fuck? I began to sprint. Heavy smoke engulfed the city and the blissful Chinsei lantern fair turned into a disaster movie. The block around the tower was full of wooden structures and that allowed the fire to run wild unstoppably. Kongming! Rita! Teresa! Stay clear. The area is locked down to contain the fire. Do not approach. You. Have you seen Kongming? The guards are searching. Are you sure Her Majesty is here? She returned to the Star Pavilion for a pen. Let me through. I'll find her. No, you shall not pass. Let me go! The guards blocked my path and held my arms. I wriggled free and dashed to the fire. Kongming! As I ran into a wall of fire and tried to get around it, I burned out, beam crumbled and hit hard on my back. But I could feel no pain, as if all my senses had been served. All I could hear was their names ringing in my head. I will save you, each and every one of you. Step back. Do you have a death wish or something? The tower is on fire and no one can make it out. We found lots of explosives southwest of the tower. Someone may have planted them. Watch out! Back off! Back off! Everyone, back off! No one can make it out. Lots of explosion. Cries, screams, and other noises surged into my ears, but my world had quieted down into absolutely silence. I thought I had directed history to a happy ending, but everything I built fell apart in a wink like a house of cards. It's collapsing! Run! Keep away from it! The crowds rushed by and pushed me away from the fire. I reached out my hand, but the only thing I caught was air. No, it's not over. It can't be over yet. Miss Iron Fist, if I can find her, there's still a chance to turn it around. The crowds were in my way. The guards were in my way. The fire was in my way. Something intangible was holding me back like a rising tide. I had no choice but to throw myself headfirst into it. I grabbed the rail on the side to steady myself and slowly pushed myself against the crowds. Having passed the guards, I began to make a desperate run to the central palace. If I had known it earlier, if I stopped Kongming from returning to Star Pavilion, if I disarmed the bombs, but I can still turn back time and make things right. The fire had not reached Kongming's room, and I found my way to misfortune in the dense smoke. Like a desert traveler finding a bottle of water, I clung to her cold metal face without any care for the electric shock. Positioning anchor complete. Initiating transfer. This time, I'll make it right. This time, I'll save everyone. In my blurred vision, a burning crossbeam fell down over my head. Everything went to dust in the sea of fire. Okay then. We have 2 more. How many days? How many days is it? I have 8 days. So 1, 2, 3. I have 4 days to complete the story. Okay. That's it for the day you vanish with the stars. Every act, Kongming died. No! I thought she will die in the first part. Like here in the persuasion. Okay, thank you for watching and I'll see you to the next act. Jane!